She's actually avoiding finding any evidence to get her to stop. That's how much she wants to keep doing it. Hi everyone, this is Sam Qurashi. I used to be a psychiatric resident in an addiction hospital, and now I'm on YouTube. The idea is for me to react in real time, so this would be the first time I see the video. And yeah, so let's see what happens. Okay. What? Are you kidding me, Tobias? Are you kidding me?
My name is Shannon. I'm 20 years old, and I'm addicted to drinking gasoline.
Okay. I thought the urine would top it. This is very close. This is really close. Really close. There's a debate on urine, because there's a lot, and if you haven't seen the urine addiction video, I highly recommend checking it out. But the problem with gasoline, it is so destructive, and I can understand the concept of addiction because I mean, by now, I don't know how many videos you've watched already, but we do touch upon the reason, the origin. What is the origin story behind every addiction? There's always an origin story for an addiction because an addiction is an adaptation. And the question is, what is it an adaptation to? And we find that out with the origin story.
I can't go a day without it. Like, I crave it, I need it. I'll wake up, go to the washroom, and drink the gas. If I go out somewhere, I'll put it in a small water bottle. When I fill up my car, I'll put it all over my hand. I do it before I go to bed. It consumes your life.
1 year ago, Shannon developed a deadly addiction to drinking gasoline.
So 1 year ago, 1 year ago she developed the addiction. We'll stop there for a second. I just want to touch upon something. She's giving herself an opportunity. It's not when she needs it. She's taking it everywhere. When something is proximal to you, it's important. The more you focus on something, visually and physically, your body's geared towards it, you're focusing on it, it becomes more important. We have a choice when it comes to connecting with anyone or anything. And the more we spend time with something, the more we make it a priority to have it with us, the more proximity, the more physical proximity we have to something, the more mental proximity by constantly thinking about it, the more important it becomes. When she's filling the car with gasoline, she touches it. She's constantly connecting to it. And connection enforces and amplifies and may give birth to addiction as well.
Today, her family has decided it's time to intervene before it's too late.
We want you to get help.
Okay.
Because we love you, Shannon.
I know.
Can I ask you one question?
What?
I just want to know why. Why are you doing this?
How does it make you feel?
That was beautiful. The reason why I'm saying that, just to be clear, is they asked two questions that I would highly recommend not using. As a therapist, I would never use those two questions. Now, why? Asking myself why something bad is happening in my life as a person is very destructive because it takes you down a rabbit hole you can't get out of. When you ask someone else, why did you do that? It's because you want to understand the reason, because if you understand the reason, then you may support them on their decision, or you may know what to say to get them to understand why it's wrong to do it. I get the sentiment, I get the reasoning behind asking why. But when you ask someone why, there are two problems with that. One, you're automatically there's an accusatory aspect to asking why. Why? Now, obviously, the way you say it, the tonality, the way you look at the person makes a difference. But when you ask why, it's an open-ended question that is not the kind of open-ended question that gives people the chance to just explore and think out loud comfortably. When you ask why, one, it's accusatory, so they feel threatened. And two, because they feel threatened, they get defensive. And suddenly there's a block between you two. So they're either going to lie about the reason, or they're going to shut down and not tell you the reason, or they're just going to walk away. And if they shut down, you just create a tension by asking the wrong question. The second thing that was mentioned, I said that was beautiful because it was a beautiful opportunity for me to explain something, is I think her sister, I guess it was her sister or her mom, I'm not really sure, was asking, how does it make you feel? And maybe in this setting it's more acceptable or appropriate because it's something that you're taking. However, when you are talking as a therapist, one of the mistakes that I see a lot of therapists make is asking, how does that make you feel? Because when you say, how does that experience or that memory make you feel? Or how does that person make you feel? How does that person's actions make you feel? You're automatically phrasing that question in a way to suppose or suggest that that person has the power to make this person do something. That memory has the power to make, which takes away control from that person. A better way to approach it is to ask, when you hear that, how do you feel? When you see that, how do you feel? When that person does that, how do you feel? When you drink that, how do you feel? You are getting the same answer, but you're getting the same answer in a different way by keeping the control in their mind, by keeping them in control and not presupposing that they're not in control. Because sometimes that is more, a lot of times that's more destructive.
I feel numb and I just don't feel any pain. I know
Okay.
it hurts me, but yet I keep doing it because I'm addicted to it.
Have you ever read up on it, on what it can do to you? Have you ever looked into it?
No, I don't want to know.
She doesn't know what gasoline does to her, and she doesn't want to know. And there's a reason why she doesn't want to know. Because part of her knows that it's damaging. She's just silencing that part. And if she reads up on the damaging effect, she's worried that that part will grow stronger and the part that is helping her do it will grow weaker. And the thing she said is pain. I want to numb the pain. It's all about pain. My question is, when she started a year ago, what happened a year ago? What emotional pain took place a year ago that got her to start drinking and then feeling the relief or the release of that pain or temporary numbness of the pain, physical and emotional?
With you doing something like this, so extreme, damaging your body, I don't understand. When you're harming yourself, it makes me feel that it's my fault.
Again, it makes me feel. What she's doing, I know she's not doing it on purpose, but when she says, it makes me, when you do that, it makes me feel, she's putting her daughter in control of how she feels, and that takes away power from herself. But what this does in this situation, I think that's the reason why I paused it, is when you tell someone, when you say that, it makes me feel, or the words you say make me feel, or you make me feel, you're taking away control from yourself, you're taking it away from yourself, and you're giving them control over you, which they may take advantage of later on. But you're also, in this situation, what the mother is doing, and it is absolutely unintentional, because this is a common mistake that a lot of people make. She's placing a heavy burden of responsibility on her daughter, blaming her daughter for how she feels.
I wrote a letter for you. Dear Shannon, first off, I want to tell you how much I love you. You're not only my little sister, but my best friend and my partner in crime. I'm here today to tell you to get help with your gasoline addiction. This addiction is killing you. By consuming this gasoline, it's literally burning away at your insides. You're an amazing friend, sister, daughter, aunt, and overall amazing person. I truly believe you can do this, Shan. Always remember that we're here for you and we love you unconditionally. With that being said, will you please get help?
That was a beautiful description of how to do an intervention, what her sister did. She told her how much she loved her. She described what the consequences of what she's doing to herself, and she's not linking it to her, she's not burdening her with her problems. She's not blaming her for how she feels. She's not saying that it's killing me, as far as I picked up on that. And then the third is she was basically encouraging her by telling her that she believes in her and believes in her ability to do that. She's motivating her and she's giving her support and encouragement and belief in herself. She's helping her doubt her belief that she's not able to do it, that she's not able to stop. And the last thing is she gave her basically her advice or suggestion that I think you need help. I believe you need help. And it was beautifully sequenced. There are different ways of sequencing it, but it doesn't involve pressuring the patient or the person suffering with our own suffering, because that just adds fuel to the fire. That adds heavier burden to the weight that she's carrying anyway, because she's already in conflict. There's an incongruence going on inside of her, and that's stopping her.
How much gasoline have you been drinking?
I'd say 1 to 3 ounces a day.
That's a lot of gasoline. Any amount is toxic. Just drinking an ounce of gasoline can be deadly in and of itself.
The doctor uses a needle to test for nerve damage.
How's that feel?
Can't feel that.
You cannot feel that. This is where your nerves have been affected from the toxicity. This girl has head-to-toe problems. I suspect there's not one system inside of her that is functioning normally. You're destroying your nervous tissue. Your stomach and your intestines are already being affected.
What I would say differently, instead of you are destroying, which is accurate, but what is more accurate, and it is practicing a bit more kindness and allowing the person to receive your message without getting resistant, is your action is destroying. Your drinking of the gasoline is destroying, rather than you're destroying. And it's a way to detach the person a bit. It's not about detaching responsibility. It's about detaching the person enough for them to receive your message without blocking. Because if you are focused on getting them to listen, to receive the message, but then you're so, I guess, aggressive in your approach by focusing on making them feel all the responsibility in that way, then they block the message so they don't receive it. And if you don't want to give them a responsibility at all, then they're going to receive the message, but they're not going to feel responsible to make a change. So it's a dance, it's a balance between getting them to receive the message and gain responsibility without blocking. The nerves have been damaged by the neurotoxicity of the gasoline. Hopefully the peripheral system can recover over time in many different ways. There are many different ways of helping the nervous system recover. Peripheral nerves are faster to recover than the central nervous system, but the central nervous system can recover, it just takes longer. And in terms of the liver is our Wolverine. You chop the liver, it grows back. It's like it's like cutting the tail off of a reptile and it goes back. It is our Wolverine. It regenerates, and it is an amazing organ. One of the things it does is it detoxifies our body. And when you're ingesting something, when you're taking medication, when it detoxifies, if you overwork that resilient super organ that you have to the degree that it has to enlarge, as what happened, that means you're giving it more toxins, more poisons than it can handle to get out. So it's adapting to the overwhelm, and that is damaging the liver. And what we need to do is immediately stop what we're doing.
Your emotional pain, it seems to me, is so deep that you're trying to give yourself physical pain so that you can feel. It's okay to feel anger. But there are healthy ways to express it and unhealthy ways. What do you think this is?
Unhealthy.
One reason, I mean, that was an interesting analysis by the physician, by the internist, is that she feels so much emotional pain that she wants to numb the emotional pain by causing physical pain, which is kind of like if you have pain in your left hand and you use a hammer, or you just cause pain in some way or form in the other hand, this disappears momentarily because that's more relevant in that moment. So the pain on the right side is more important than the left. It's more recent, it's more intense in that moment, so you switch off the system, the nervous system that reveals the pain there. But in this case, I don't think that's the case, because she did say at the beginning that she feels numb. And I don't think it's about wanting to have physical pain to numb the emotional pain, to override the emotional pain by having more physical pain. It's about taking something that distracts her from the emotional pain by not feeling anything at all.
I think you can heal these feelings, but you can't do it if you kill yourself drinking gasoline. You have to promise me you're going to stop, and you're going to stop now.
I promise.
Two things to quickly touch upon. One, they didn't talk about why she started a year ago. That's the first thing, if I had a session with her, that's the first thing I would ask. What happened a year ago that started that? What happened on the day, the day before, a few days before, a week before, just to identify what is that trigger? What was that an adaptation to? That would be very important. There's something that was also mentioned at the end by the internist, and she said, you need to promise me, you need to stop now. Now, what I support is the immediacy, the power of immediacy and connection to something, and making a decision when you're highly emotional. It's not a good idea to make a decision when you're highly emotional, unless it's a decision that is supported by other people. So it's not just emotional, because other people, you're just emotional. It doesn't mean that because you're emotional you can't make a good decision. But in general, when emotions go up, intellect goes down. However, the times that I encourage a decision like that to be made is a decision like that. She was telling her the consequences of her actions. She was telling her, this could kill you. She was developing a sense of fear. She was fearing the consequences because fear was building because of what the doctor was telling her. Having a logical decision like, okay, so I know that gasoline is bad for me, so I will stop. If you want to make a decision and commit to this decision, there's got to be an emotional element to it. And that was a perfect time for that to happen. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for my Strange Addiction series or any videos of any kind, the breakdown of it, like the breakdown of the Joker, if you want me to break down any other movies, characters, shows, anything, please comment in the section below. And I look forward to connecting with you soon. Have an amazing morning, evening, afternoon, night, wherever you are. Bye for now.